Hey y'all, this is AL Thick Madame, and this is yet another installment of the Married Man Side Heffa Saga. So, I had an amazing work week last week. My week starts over again on Friday mornings, so yeah, not looking forward to that, but it's okay. So last week, because the side Heffa's schedule changed, and she put in to start working Monday through Friday. She worked Friday. And on Friday, she had to work in her department, which is across from my department. So I had a good day. Like I didn't have to have any interaction with her. Um, it went well for me. Like the whole week, as far as interactions with her, I didn't have no interactions with her. I didn't have to deal with her. Now everybody else, on the other hand, especially the people who had to work directly with her, I can't say the same for them because she stayed walking around. Uh, the people who work below us, when I came back to, first of all, let me tell y'all what happened. Okay, so I came in the building, minding my business. I'm at the bottom of the rotation list, but it depends on the need as to whether or not I'll be back in my department or if they are going to place me on something that might be considered to be a project or a special project. So I was supposed to be someone that was like in between doing a project and like helping out, and you know, it just depends on what was going on. So I wasn't gonna be in my area. Child, she had to work at her department Friday. I didn't have to have anything to do with her. So I was glad about that. So what happened was, because I was off for my days last week, they had her and this other lazy person in my department. Uh, I was approached by the people who had to deal with it. And they were like, I was so happy to see your car in the parking lot this morning. I didn't know what to do. You up there today? I was like, no, I'm not in my department. They got mad. It's like, how you gonna get mad at me? I wasn't scheduled to work in my department. I'm not supposed to be in my department right now. Maybe within the next week or two, I'll be back in my department. But that's as I move back up the rotation list. So anyway, I'm loving not having any drama to even have the possibility to pop off. So I'm good where I'm at. So anyway, this man then went all the way off because he was like, "You don't understand. Those are the laziest people I've ever had to deal with ever since I worked there." He's been working there for quite some time. So he told me one of them couldn't stay from going in this direction. The other one couldn't stop going in that direction. And he basically was saying that the side heifer couldn't stop going back to where the married dude works, which is downstairs and way back somewhere else. And the other heifer couldn't stop going to where the other guy, who she screws in some location that has no cameras, she couldn't stop coming downstairs and going to where he is all day. And they suffered downstairs because of them, because they depend on us doing our job properly in order for their jobs to go smooth. So yeah, they said it ain't make no sense. I was like, look, I ain't gonna do with that. I wasn't here. I was off, enjoying my time being off, and I slept. And he was just like, but why? Why could you come in on your days off? I was like, no. And I'm already mad anyway because the married dude that likes me, who says he's gonna get a divorce, he was taking my time whenever I didn't want to work over or come in early and all this other stuff. He was like, "Oh, you want me to take? Yes, take it, because I don't want to do it. I'm fine. The Lord has provided for me. I am fine with what I'm getting. My normal pay is fine. I don't want to come in early. I don't want to stay over. Thank you." Now he when he was on our shift, he did not like staying over because there were times that he had to go home or go and tend to his son. So I get that. But any other time, oh, he would take my time for me. Oh, they got you coming in on our days off. Oh, I'll take it for you. Thank you, because I'm tired of my spirit. So now I have to work my own time unless somebody else takes it for me. So yeah, that's the downside about him not being there on my shift anymore. Child. So anyway, I already knew that was the case anyway. I just laughed. And that man was mad because I was like, this is what we deal with all the time up there. I'm just glad that she ain't my partner. I'm just glad that we don't work in the same department. That's what I'm glad about. And it's been so strange. Only her relative through marriage really is the only one who deals with her. Like I said, the other person who has the heart issue, who has the widowmaker heart, when he is there, he deals with her. But those are the only two people. And we have several people in our department. Several. And I'm just like, child, it's sad that don't nobody want to deal with you. Don't nobody want to work with you. People have gone to other shifts to get away from you. You're the problem, ma'am. So anyway, the married dude that she's screwing, he's been speaking when he knows she's not around or when she's not there, because they've been making it mandatory for him to work. I forgot if I told y'all this or not, but they both got they put in to get their shifts to be the same. So I was like, okay, what is going on here? Because I was like, wait a minute. I remember when I first started working here, and then he made his presence known that he worked on weekends. Like I work on weekends. But now they both have schedules of Monday through Friday. And I'm like, oh. But stuff has been going on, and he has been told that he has to come in and work. So he has to do it. He's been having to pull like 7 days straight. Like, it is what it is. He has not been able to be off on the weekends because, like I said, his schedule is Monday through Friday now. She came in on Sunday. Speaking of, child, she tried it. She tried it Sunday. So she wasn't supposed to be there until 4 hours into our shift and only work for 4 hours, right? So when I got to work, I was like, why? Why is her truck here? I was confused because I was like, nobody called her in. I was like, well, maybe I'll stand corrected. Let me go in here. When I look at the schedule, maybe something has changed. Looked at the schedule, it says the same thing it's been saying. She's not on the schedule except when they needed her to come in 4 hours later. So I'm like, why is she here? I'm not understanding. So then I start seeing this heifer again, having an amazing day. And so like the time changed, and y'all know that was like the day the time changed and all this other stuff. So the time changed, and then I look at the clock. It's like 2 hours into the shift. Here she come walking. I had just had a conversation with her relative through marriage, who is usually my main partner that I have, because he was downstairs. We were about to take a break or whatever. We were just taking breaks at random. I just went and took me one, like at random, because wasn't nothing going on. Here she come. I was just like, I know I just looked at my clock. Like, I know it's pretty much 2 hours into the shift. What is going on here? And this heifer that walked in here, I'm like, man, come on now. You ain't even supposed to be here. You were supposed to be in the bed for at least another hour. Why are you here? I'm not understanding why you are here. Like, are you riding the clock? Like, is that what's going on? Are you about to get an 8-hour shift knowing good and well that you ain't supposed to get but 4 hours? Oh, okay. Like, I'm trying to figure out what's going on, because ain't no way I would sit up here and not get paid for 4 hours and I'm just sitting here. For what? You don't live 4 hours away, ma'am. You live 45 minutes to an hour away. I don't understand why she was there before our shift started. So anyway, she finally came in there, and hours later, again, when she officially was supposed to be there, but she was there the whole time. I was just like, please tell me this is not one of these situations where the heifer feel like, ooh, I need to be up under this man all day, every day. I need to see him. I need to be there. I am scheduled to be here today, but let me hurry up and just get here now. Like, why? And then I don't understand people like her. Even if they both were single, I don't see how people don't give people room to breathe. Like, me and my ex, we worked together briefly, and that was terrible. We didn't have a chance to miss one another because we was at work together, then coming home and having to see each other. I don't know. I think it might depend on where you're working or something, or what your profession is, because I was not here for that. I need to be able to have time to miss the person that I am with. So I don't want to work with the person that I am with. You know what I'm saying? Even if we are in the same profession, I don't want us to work in the same building unless it's in a completely different department or something like that. I feel like that might be the only way it'll work. But yeah, I don't know. So yeah, I don't know what that was about, but the heifer was there and she wasn't needed, and I was just like, "Why are you here? Why are you here?" Like everybody kept coming at me like, "Did I see her?" I was like, "Yes, you saw her. I saw her way before now. I saw her hours ago. I saw her when she was. I came in the parking lot. She was here. She was already here. I wasn't understanding." Then I looked at the schedule. Her name wasn't there, so I'm not understanding why she's here 4 hours early. So anyway, everybody was tired because she was there, and I was just like, "Child, I can't." Um. So the married dude is supposed to be getting divorced. As of late, like when he sees me, he'll do like this like whole dance. He'd be like, "What's going on with you?" And he'll do a whole dance, and I'd be like, "Oh my gosh, you are embarrassing me." Like he be doing the most, and like people be watching, like he be rolling all the way up. He be like, "Hey, what's going on with you?" Like he do a full on dance, like he be so excited, and I'd be like, "Wait a minute, what's going on right here?" So anyway, like we still cool or whatever. He did kind of calm down a little bit on reaching out and all of that, but he let it be known in person that he still feel the same way about me, and he's not gonna stop, and he's still gonna get the divorce. And I'm just like, okay, I believe you when I see the divorce decree. Like, and I ain't trying. I look. I don't encourage this man to get a roster. Like y'all, I'm like, shoot, maybe you need to just get you a roster. Even after you get the divorce, go ahead and get you a roster, because apparently, you're gonna do what you want to do as it is. I don't encourage cheating, but I'm like, if that's what you're gonna do until you're done with your wife, don't think that I'm gonna have these weak moments and then we gonna get together. According to him, he hasn't done anything since the last person that he had been dealing with or whatever tried him. And I was just like, you might need to get you a roster, because that ain't got nothing to do with me. Oh, okay. Yeah, that ain't got nothing to do with me. So yeah, he was like, "I don't want no roster. I want you." I'm like, child. My thing is this. Despite the fact that we have like great chemistry and all of that, I don't see us being able to be anything other than platonic friends, because he has a small child. His child just turned 4 like a couple of months ago. And like his son was sick. And it's like his son will be sick every now and again. I mean, it's a small child. Like, what do you expect? But I'm just saying, like, your child comes first. Your other children are grown. So it is what it is. And even with that, like, your children, anything that came from you, to me, are going to always come before me or anybody else that you choose to be in a relationship, situationship, and whatever else with. So in my mind, I feel like you're going to drop everything before you deal with those people. So it's like, I'm not selfish, but I know what I want for myself. I know that I like attention. I know that if I'm with somebody, that I'm going to want the attention to be focused on me. I'm going to want them to spend a lot of time with me, especially if we have that time. So yeah, I don't see that. I don't see that as a possibility. And I mean, I have said everything short of exactly that scenario and those, specific things as to why I don't see it happening. But I mean, for me, I just don't see myself out there anymore. I don't see myself in a relationship. I don't see myself getting married anymore. I don't see myself with that happily ever after anymore. I just don't. There are just so many people out here. Like, y'all, look, listen. The other day, a cop and a dude that's in the military reached out to me. They were trying to talk to me. It was like, "Oh, you just seem so interesting, whatever, whatever, whatever." And I was just like, I'm single and not looking, so I don't know what interest in you or in your mind you think is happening, but nothing's happening. I don't know what you're talking about. So I mean, and I hate when people will send you messages, do all this, be like, do you have WhatsApp? Do you have this? Do you have this? Do you have that? We already own a form of an app already. I'm not finna keep that. I'm not downloading nothing to continuously talk to you the same way we already talking. What's the point of all this other extra stuff, child? I ain't got time. Like the app that they be sending to me, what we be on already talking to one another. They already have functions where you can talk on the phone, you can hear one another's voice, you can see one another. I'm just like, what is the point of all this other stuff? So then the police officer, when he was trying to talk to me, he was like trying to get all kinds of information out of me. I'm the type of person where I don't care if I meet you in person or if you roll up on me because you saw me somewhere and you thought that I looked however I looked to you and you reached out. I don't care. I'm not going to tell you where I work. I'm not going to tell you my full name, if I even tell you my real first name. I have gotten to the point, I don't even tell these people my first name because in my mind, I don't see the conversation going past a day or two, if that, a couple hours, if that. I don't see it. And I'm usually right. So I'm just like, ain't no reason for this. All communication is going to cease very soon. So the police officer kept trying to like investigate. And my thing is this, for you to be a police officer, you ain't even asking the right questions. You were like, my occupation is, I'm a cop. What's your occupation? I told him I don't care to share. And so he was like, okay. And then like, he wanted to know my exact birth date. He wanted like the stuff that he was asking and the way he was asking. I'm like, you're trying to fish for information so that you can get my background information. I'm not telling you anything about me. All you need to know is that I work a job where I am on payroll. That's legal. You don't pay my bills. I'm not asking you for any money. You don't need to know my name like that. You don't need to know my birth date. You don't need to know none of these things. All you need to know is that I don't have any skeletons in my closet that are going to come out to try you like most other people do. I'm just like, child, I ain't got time for it. Did a dude that's in the military. He just kept asking me, was I in the military? I was like, no. Like, I was just like, child, what? I feel like sometimes I just be letting anybody in the military, and I just be like, what is going on? I don't know. But he was like, I really feel like we gonna be together. And then he comes to us and do you have WhatsApp? No, I'm not getting it either. Like, y'all might as well just stop. Like, it's just gotten to a point where it's irritating. It's irritating for me when people try to roll up. I just be like, child, I'm not interested. Like, I'll say hey to you every now and again. I'll say happy birthday to you. You can tell me about what's going on with your children. You can do that. But we ain't finna have no date. We ain't finna be together. We not finna have sex. I don't want no parts of none of it. Most of y'all are psychotic. Most of y'all are sex trafficking. Most of y'all are stalkers. I'm good where I'm at. I'm so sick and tired. That's why I was kind of like, side-eyeing the cop, because it's like, for me to tell you that I don't care to share where I work and I don't care to share what my profession was or is, and like certain things that I kept telling him I don't care to share, why didn't you ask me, well, if you don't mind, why is it that you don't want to discuss that? And I would have simply told him, because I have stalkers and people are crazy. And I told him I wasn't giving my number out. Y'all, oh my gosh. Then another thing before I forget. Tell me why one of my friends reached out to me, who we worked together when I worked this part-time job a couple of years ago. And so his wife was a whole hoe out here. She was a whole hoe out here. She was a whole hoe out here. She was out here sleeping with supervisors and everybody else. And I would have never thought by looking at her that she was like that. I'm telling you, you definitely cannot judge a book by its cover. But anyway, to make a long story short, she only married him because it was convenient. They were friends, and I guess he was just safe. I don't know. She wasn't never attracted to this man. And I'm like, you got married to him. You had a baby with him. Y'all built a life together, only for you to be like, I don't want this. And so, since you didn't want it, to add insult to injury, she had been sleeping with his best friend. The best friend came clean about it. And she was just like, I mean, I want what he got, and plus anybody else who's willing to give it to me. And I'm just like, woo, child, But anyway, he was going all the way through, and once he realized that he could trust me, he was telling me about all the stuff he had been going through, and I was just like, child, the heifer finally left and left him with their child. I was like, oh God, wait a minute. I was like, okay, so what's the arrangement? Wasn't no arrangement. I don't even know if this heifer has seen the child and I don't know how long. I don't know what is going on. I was like, child. At one point in time, he was kind of acting like he liked me. He is nowhere near my type. I mean, he cool as a person, but he is not my type in the slightest. And I could tell by certain things he was saying, and I was just like, I'm single and not looking. So yeah, he has a girlfriend now. I'm glad. She's beautiful. Hallelujah. But he reached out to me the other day and was like, hey, how you doing? I was like, I'm fine. How are you? And he reaches out from time to time, so I didn't think nothing of it. Child, it was a setup this time. He done reached out to me because he has a friend who is looking for a genuine woman who would do right by him and all this other stuff. So he gonna try to tell me about the friend. And he was like, well, he set it up like this. He said, hey, how you doing? I said, I'm fine. How are you? He was like, I'm doing great. How's life treating you? I said, wonderful. How's life treating you? He was like, good. I have a girlfriend now. LOL. I was like, I know. I congratulated you and liked the status when I saw it. He was like, oh, okay. So I have a friend. I was like, child. I was like, what we not going to do is this. Like, we've had this conversation before. He knows where I stand as far as that is concerned. I tell everybody with the quickness, I'm single and not looking. I understand that y'all feel like I'm just this amazing person. And, oh, you're so nice. You should have somebody in your life. Don't be alone for the rest of your life. You shouldn't have to live like that. I promise you, I'm probably better off alone for the rest of my life. I'm tired. If y'all saw the stupidity that I've had to deal with for people who I am not in a relationship with, it's like this. To me, this is confirmation that he keeps me in the know and lets me know I need to be by myself because I ain't got time. So anyway, he was like, oh, well, here's his number. I was like, I won't be calling him. I don't want him to have my number. And the most that could happen is a possible friendship, but probably not. But does he have social media? He was like, yeah, you can contact him on there. So Sunday, I reached out to him as a courtesy, and I told him that I was going to do this. I said, I'll reach out to him and tell him exactly everything that I told you, which was, hey, my name is this. I'm single and not looking for anything. I've already told your friend that. He knows that. And, you know, friendship, maybe that's about all that can happen, but no, I'm not looking for nothing or whatever. Like, and I wasn't mean about it. I'm just saying that was the gist of what I said to him. So he hasn't opened the message. He is older. He's 49 years old. I mean, he ain't no ugly dude. And his age doesn't bother me because I'm about to be 38 in February. And, you know, older has always been my thing. But for some reason, younger has been what has gravitated to me and have been the ones who have really set it off for me. I don't know why. Like they are usually like younger or older. Never anybody my exact age or super duper close in age to me. I don't know what it is. I don't understand. Like, the people who live for me are under the age of 30 or are over the age of 45. And it'd be some that really be 60 something, 70 something trying to roll up. And I used to be like, why? And that's always been the case. I don't get it. Like, y'all older than my daddy. They're like, why is we doing this? Leave me alone. Leave me alone. So anyway, that man has not said anything back to me. So I'll keep y'all updated on that and let y'all know if he says anything. I mean, it seems like the little hoodoo situation might be working with the side heifer. So I'm glad that there has not been any drama. The guy who I've told y'all about before, who is fine, and he has to come and retrieve paperwork for me. Listen, this man, okay. How can I say this? I was talking about my friend who no longer works there, and pretty much there's a guy who started working there who is a stalker. Like, he looks crazy. The dude I told y'all about who looked like Show Nuff or whatever the man name is, that's in the Last Dragon, Into the Last Dragon, or whatever it is, whatever Kelly, child. He looks real deranged and crazy, and he makes a point to talk to me and try to speak to me every time he see me. My friend already told me, she'd already given me a heads up before he even started working. And she said, if it's true that he gonna come work there, I'm telling you, he's gonna gravitate towards you. You're his type too. She, to me, is like, I guess body type wise, it's like Megan Thee Stallion, I guess you could say. I don't know, but her body is everything. My friend is fine. Like, she is, my friend looks good. Listen, so the other day I was at work, and I ended up showing a picture of her to somebody. And so we were talking about her at first. The dude who has to go get paperwork for me, he was like, man, she was fine though. I was like, wait a minute, you don't hardly talk. This man don't hardly talk. So anytime something came about my friend, he was saying it all. So I had to tell her, I was like, you still got admirers up in here, child. You got them. Ooh, I'm telling y'all, I used to be so happy. I'm like, ooh, I'm so glad. And it was crazy because the only person who was really setting it off was the married dude. So I was like, I ain't got but one person on my back. She got like 15, 20 secret admirers setting it off. I ain't got a fool with it. When I saw her, listen, y'all, when I saw her, when we were training, I already knew. I'm like, man, everybody gonna be up here lined up to try to talk to her. I don't care. As long as I can get my work done and get up out of here, I do not care. As long as the focus is off me, I be so sick and tired. I be so sick and tired of people rolling up. Like, there's a difference between a certain type of attention and just people doing the most and being thirsty. They be doing the most. But anyway, this man has set it off over my friend. And it's like, I feel like he still liked me, but he was like, man, so I made a point to show him. I was like, you want to see what she look like? Because there's a dude in there who like her. She ain't never liked him. She cussed him out one day. She cussed him out so bad, y'all. Oh my gosh. So I went over to him and showed him the picture of my friend. And he made this noise. I was like, my friend fine. And he was like, yeah. I was like, I know it. I know my friend fine. Like, she is, like, one day, hopefully she will come on the platform so y'all can see what she look like, and she fine. It don't even make no sense how beautiful my friend is. So anyway, y'all, child, she is a whole vibe, but it's like, she's the complete opposite of what you would think about her. Like, she ain't popular. Like, I just be like, girl, do you see what you look like? What is going on here? Like, girl, I'm surprised these people ain't beating down the door. She don't even get him the opportunity to. Like, she ain't here for it. Like, but anyway, y'all, I'm trying to remember if there was any more shenanigans that were going on this week. This past week. All I know is that the married dude, he keep on telling me that all he got to do is pay the man. And I'm saying to myself, if it's that simple and you working all these extra hours, you could have paid this man already. And the divorce proceedings could go on ahead and get underway. So I'm not really, and I straight up tell him to his face, I don't believe you. He was like, well, you ain't got to believe me. I'm going to show you. Anytime I've told you anything else, it ended up being what it was going to be, right? I was like, yeah, but people say this all the time. People say that all the time, and they stay married, and they stay screwing around with everybody and their mama. You ain't finna have me out here. You ain't finna have me out here looking crazy. But anyway, hopefully I didn't miss anything. I'm gonna start jotting stuff down, y'all, and put it in my notes, because I feel like I be leaving stuff out, like crazy stuff that has happened. There have been some little situations that have happened, y'all. Child, y'all, the dude that I done told y'all it's the gap for me. Y'all, this man rolled up on me 2 days in a row and started a conversation when he don't normally do that. Like, it be taking everything in him to even raise his hand to wave back at me. And I was just like, he'll stare at me all day. But like, starting a conversation, I was shocked. I was like, wait a minute. And then he made me laugh. And then he was laughing. And I was like, not you starting a conversation? y'all, but anyway, that's a whole nother story. Anyway, thank y'all for tuning into this foolishness. Subscribe if y'all have not. Let's get down in the comment section and discuss this foolishness. Bye.